Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Well, for this video, we're staying with the Eagles. Last time I looked at Hotel California, which is their most iconic song. In fact, one of the most iconic songs of all time. Everybody knows that song. And so I trust you enjoyed my commentary from last week. And because it is the Eagles, we're going to stay with the Eagles for another video. And it's probably, I don't know why this is, but this is probably my most favourite Eagles song. And that's New Kid in Town. The New Kid in Town also came off of the Hotel California album in 1976. So yeah, some really good songs on the album. Life in the Fast Lane, as I talked about last week, the last track, Last Resort, is also worth a listen. This particular track, we have Glenn Fry taking up lead vocals. Now, unfortunately, Glenn is no longer with us. He also sang a couple of songs by himself, including Part of Me, Part of You. No, he did a song for Beverly Hills Cop as well, You Belong to the City. So Glenn is actually in this clip, which I'll refer you to later. So rest in peace to him, and certainly my well wishes to the Fry family, who've lost an absolute national treasure, an American national treasure, and almost a world treasure as well. So there are some similar veins going on with this song, New Kid in Town, to Hotel California. When I talk about Hotel California, I talked about the fact that sometimes in life things feel a bit weird. And I shared how Hotel California had this eclecticness about it, this weirdness about it, made us feel uncomfortable. And I suppose there are times in life when we feel a little bit that way. Everything feels a bit strange and everything feels a bit weird. So last time I talked about it from our perspective, as if we're living in the weird world. I suppose the song today, New Kid in Town, provides us with an opportunity to look at it from a different perspective. And that is a perspective of where one of your friends is feeling like the new kid in town. You may be thinking, well, he's my friend. Why would he ever feel like he's a new kid in town? Because I don't know if you remember the first day you went to school, or maybe it's a new school, and you walked in all timid and shy, and so I wasn't really going to be sure how it went. Well, this is the kind of feeling we're talking about here. So why would your friend be feeling like a new kid in town? After all, you've known them for 20 years. In the case of an older person, 30, 40 years even. Why are they feeling like a new kid in town? Well, it's an interesting one. Because I suppose if we think about for friends, two married couples, and they've been getting together for 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden one of the partners dies. Now say for instance you're on the couple that is still together and it's your friend that's lost a partner. Apart from it being a shock and a bit of sadness and sort of feeling the loss because you've known this person for a long time, you don't really know how to talk to the other person now. The world's a bit different. It's not because you're being mean or nasty. It's just because it's not familiar anymore. And so whereas before it was comfortable and it was easy and it was friendly, now it just doesn't feel like that. Imagine it from your friend's perspective as well. They're probably not even wanting to come because they're just feeling really awkward and strange as well. And that's on top of the fact that they've lost their partner. So I wonder what the answer is to that, because there's two issues going on here. The first issue is, and I think the most important issue is that your friend has lost a partner and they're overwhelmed with grief. And at the same time, they're also, I suppose, on the receiving end of you not knowing what to do either. That's the first issue. The second issue, and I suppose I've alluded to it, is you don't know what to do. It just doesn't feel the same. New kid in town. Even though they've been in the town for the last 40, 50 years. What do you think the new kid in town needs? Well, I reckon the biggest thing is they don't want to feel new. They are longing for how things used to be. But it's not the same as how it used to be. But they're longing for some familiarity. They're longing for it to be included like they were before. They're longing just to be invited out. To be seen as someone with worth. It's a real challenge to friends in this situation. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it isn't. It is a challenge. So what I'm really saying, I suppose, is that that person who's lost their partner wants connection with anyone, with someone. They just want connection. But at the same time, they also want space to be able to feel the loss and to feel the sadness that comes from losing someone. So I reckon a bit of a strategy, because you do have to think through this a little bit about what you're going to do. Think about the stuff you used to do before. Did you get together for dinner once a month? Did you play cards? Did you go have a favourite spot that all of you used to go to? Was there a particular event that you always used to go to as a 4 and now there's a 3? Well, maybe, because don't forget you've got your partner still, so you can, you've got each other to support each other, and sometimes if there are two people in this situation, you can share the awkwardness a little bit. So think about, well, let's continue to do those things. Let's make a ritual. In fact, the ritual might need to be a bit more often, but perhaps. We're going to do the walk down the beach every week. We're going to go for the coffee every week. And the person, there's a couple of things that I believe will happen with the person who's lost their partner. First of all, they'll look forward to those times, because they will appreciate after, when they get to, when their brain stops and they get a chance to think, their brain and them will be thankful for these times, because they go from being the new kid in town to just the kid in town. So I reckon we as humans love routine and familiarity, and I think the person's craving for a new routine, because the routine they had in the past is completely gone. So they need a new routine of some sort. So perhaps that's the answer. Look for a weekly event and do that with them. Do it together, that's okay. And perhaps when you're in conversation and you're having a coffee, bring up the lost partner in conversation. I wonder how such and such would have felt about today. Gee, I wonder how he would have felt about that, or she would have felt about that. Bring them up in conversation, call them by name. That's okay. Because you see, just because I suppose the physical presence is gone, it doesn't mean there are other forms of the relationship still going, things like memories, things like emotions. And so it's all right to call them by name. include them in the conversation even. Because the person's missing them terribly. And it's almost embracing that missing. That will be the way that they will move forward. Not that grief is a process. Grief is more of a thing that we go through. So if you know, and you know, anyone who might be new, you know, it may not be someone who's suffered loss. It could just be a new person that you have never met, that you've seen a few times. Think about how you can take the new out of their world, so things become a bit more familiar. Because I'm sure if it was you in that situation, you would be wanting someone to do that. But you wouldn't want to ask for it, would you? You'd want to hopefully have someone offer it to you. And that's what you need to do. Just offer, ask, and be the friendly person that you are. New kid in town. I don't know why this is my favourite Eagles song. There are so many iconic Eagles songs. As you know, we had Hotel California last week, and we've got Take It to the Limit, Take It to the Easy. I think that song Already Gone, I think it's what it's called. It's got that amazing chorus in it. Tequila Sunrise, Life in the Fast Lane. The list goes on and on and on. But there's just something about the song that I love, and I think apart from Glenn Fry's vocals, I just think it's the end. The beautiful harmony end of the song, you know, New Kid in Town, I Don't Want to Hear It, that part of the song. And it's quite interesting that when you hear how the song ends here, it's almost like the person who wrote the song's a new kid in town. It feels a little bit like that. Let me know what you think about who the new kid is in this song. It'll be interesting for you to think about for yourself. Well, who is a new kid in town? So as I shared last week, the Eagles did break up, but then reformed, and I believe, looking at the age of the guys here, this looks like a sense of reformation again. Again, this is an absolutely live song. You see Glenn singing up front. You see the other guys harmonising with him so beautifully, and as they tell the story of this new kid in town. So enjoy this live clip today. So I've placed the link for this song in the comments below. If you want to recap from a commentary of Hotel California from last time, I'll drop the link to that one as well. And if you like this video, I always say this at the end because I don't want to push people or come across too pushy. I always say this at the end of my videos, and that is, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I reflect on life through various songs, and as I said in a teaser a little while back, we're in the E's now, and there are some massive artists in E. We've got next week the initials ES. I'll let you try and work out who that might be. He's an absolutely massive artist in the world right now. And so I invite you to subscribe to this channel. And when you do, there's a little bell next to that. If you click on that and click on all, or whichever option you want, it'll let you get an email every time I post a video. I'm going to be doing these about twice a week, so you won't get overwhelmed. I suppose for me, I'm just hoping to be able to build up the support of this channel, because I've certainly got a lot of content to go. I'm only in the E's with my artists, and so, you know, we've got to go right up to Z. So there's going to be a lot coming, and I must admit I am enjoying this. So until next time, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you around.